The silence in the car was deafening. Ethan Brooks gripped the steering wheel, his eyes fixed on the Los Angeles skyline, lost in a maze of private thoughts. He stole a glance at his wife Sophia, her face turned toward the passenger window, her reflection faint against the glass. She was watching something outside, or maybe nothing at all. Subtly, like only a married couple could, they played their silent game, tiny signals. Only they understood a dance of averted gazes. When one looked, the other turned away, avoiding the weight of each other's eyes. This ritual had defined the Brooks family for years. Their conversations had grown formal, polite, like strangers discussing the weather. How pathetic, Ethan thought, his gaze lingering on Sophia. She wore a black dress, dark silk stockings, legs crossed at the ankles. Even with her back to him, she was strikingly feminine. Her raven hair blended with her dress, framing the soft curve of her cheek, the sharp line of her jaw, a faint glint of her lips in the dim light. Her body, the one that had captivated him in college, still took his breath away. Her slender back tapered to her hips, her form melting into the car seat. He didn't need to see more. He knew every inch of her by sight, by touch. Hell, he'd tasted her, breathed her in through their 9 years of marriage. If blindfolded, he could identify her by her heartbeat, her breath, the texture of her skin. Guilt gnawed at him for thinking of her this way. How can I, after everything she'd made it clear where he stood? Another loss, another ache, another void he couldn't fill. For 62 months, 865 days, he'd lived in this personal nightmare, counting each one. Would it ever end? Could he ever feel alive again? Sophia sensed his gaze lift. She glanced at the window's faint reflection to confirm, then studied the man she'd vowed to love years ago. Her emotions churned, too many good memories to cherish, too many painful ones to forget. Why doesn't he support me, she thought. Why do I have to seek out basic human needs elsewhere? Her conscience whispered back, have I given him the same? Frustrated, she focused on Ethan's weary face. She knew his pain matched hers. She wanted to bridge the gap, to start a real conversation, but every attempt last year had been rebuffed. When he tried, she shut him down. Now their marriage was reduced to trivial small talk, cold courtesy, and guilt. It hadn't started this way. Once their love was blinding, a fusion of two souls into one entity of joy. They were inseparable even before their vows. On their wedding day, staring into each other's eyes, they believed their love could never fade. They were wrong. 14 months later, on Christmas, their daughter Lily Grace Brooks entered their lives. Everything changed. Their souls became a cherished trio. Sophia recalled Ethan's awe when he first saw Lily in the delivery room. Then the tender admiration he turned on her, exhausted from labor. She held their crying newborn, tears of joy streaming down her face. Ethan joined her, the three of them embracing before the medical team took over. It was the start of their perfect parenthood. They devoured parenting books, scoured the internet, and sought advice from everyone they knew. Their anxiety was both endearing and exhausting. Ultimately, they trusted the ultimate authorities, their mothers. Near daily calls soothed their fears and began the grandmother's spoiling of their beautiful granddaughter. Sophia's parents loved Lily so much they relocated to be closer. Life in the Brooks household became a daily miracle of discovery. Feeding schedules, sleep cycles, diaper changes, 2 a.m. lullabies to soothe Lily's cries. They marveled as she struggled to crawl in the living room, tracked her growth, endured doctor visits and vaccinations. They snapped photos of her with every baby shower gift, sending copies with thank you notes. Videos captured every milestone hand-eye coordination muscle control her radiant smile when recognizing their faces. Her first crawl, first sounds, first grip on their fingers. Her first word, Mama, brought tears. Her first wobbly steps, her vocabulary's growth, the terrible twos potty training, new clothes for her growing frame. Her third and fourth birthdays, chocolate-smeared smiles. Like all parents, Ethan and Sophia believed Lily was the smartest, most beautiful child ever born. Lily was unique, but not in the way they'd hoped. She had leukemia, a disease millions of infants would never face. Sophia remembered the agony of sitting in the pediatrician's office as the doctor balanced concern with reassurance. Routine tests showed anomalies, nothing serious, just needing more checks. Then came graver consultations, more tests, and a referral to an oncologist. They left that appointment in a daze, Lily between them holding their hands, unaware of the shadow looming. The oncologist's diagnosis, cancer, felt like a death sentence. Sophia broke down. Ethan wasn't far behind. The seasoned doctor, having seen this too often, calmed them with statistics, treatment advances, and promises of the best care. He and his team would fight alongside Lily, but later in her bedroom they held her and sobbed. Confused, Lily cried too, amplifying their grief. In the car now, Sophia's eyes welled up. She pulled a tissue from her purse with practiced ease, no fumbling after 5 years. Ethan noticed, wondering if he should comfort her. But she'd found solace elsewhere. And truthfully, so had he. He replayed the events that led here. They'd rehearsed how to tell Lily she was sick, needing many doctor visits to get better. Sophia stayed calm. Ethan, a trembling mess, echoed her reassurances. God, what a lie. The drugs, injections, chemotherapy, watching Lily endure it all, trusting her parents wouldn't hurt her. Holding a bucket by her bed as she vomited, her skin paling, her weight dropping. Her dark hair, inherited from Sophia, fell out in clumps. They decided to shave her head. Ethan insisted on going first, driving to a barbershop and returning bald. Sophia and Lily laughed, touching his scalp. It eased Lily's fears. Sophia followed, shaving her head at her salon despite her stylist's protests. The salon staff and clients wept, moved by her story. Her stylist refused payment, and strangers hugged her as she left. Teenagers jeered in the parking lot, but she brushed it off, focused on solidarity with her family. Ethan bought them Hermes scarves, one for each, every day. When Lily felt strong enough, they ventured out, ignoring stares, bound by love. Rachel's illness amplified their stress. Nightly, they discussed coping strategies in bed, holding each other. Sometimes they made love. Other times they just held on until sleep came. At work, they shared updates about Lily. Sophia, a graphic designer at a small Seattle firm, was supported by colleagues who offered help she never took. She kept her pain private. No one could understand unless they'd lived it. Ethan, the youngest partner at a Portland law firm, leaned on his secretary Claire to stay organized. Mornings began with her bringing coffee and listening to his updates. Their routine was interrupted only by Lily's treatments, when they dropped everything for her. Time eroded their marriage subtly. They didn't notice the drift consumed by Lily's recovery. Stress sowed seeds of resentment, growing into silent grudges. Once, Ethan missed a procedure due to a work conflict. Sophia, alone in the hospital waiting room, snapped at him when he arrived. They made up later, but small spats became heated arguments. The passionate reconciliations faded. Intimacy dwindled. Ethan confided in Claire. "She criticizes everything I do," he told her, pacing his office. Claire offered support, urging him to talk to Sophia. Across town, Sophia struggled at work. Her supervisor, Nathan Carter, noticed her errors and called her into his office. "Your stress is affecting your work," he said gently. "What do you need?" Sophia broke down, confessing her fears about Lily's bone marrow transplant and her fights with Ethan. Nathan shared his own loss, his father to cancer, offering to listen anytime. "Make peace with your husband," he advised, assigning colleagues to help her project. Christmas arrived and Lily turned 5. Surrounded by family, she wished for a white Christmas after blowing out her candles, unaware snow was rare in their area. Gifts distracted her. Ethan, still recovering from his bone marrow donation, filmed the event, tears blurring his lens. He passed the camera to Sophia. Both had let their hair grow back per Lily's preference. Ethan recalled meeting Sophia in college, her beauty striking him at a freshman party. Shy and awkward, he struggled to approach women. When introduced to Sophia, misnamed by a roommate, he was floored. Her tall frame floral dress and green eyes captivated him. Her warm handshake and radiant smile disarmed him. They clicked instantly, leaving the chaotic party for coffee at a nearby diner. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, lasting until closing. He lent her his jacket, and their first kiss outside her dorm sealed his fate. Their romance blossomed: study dates, movie nights, football games, picnics. They became the heart of their friend group, their bond undeniable. After a weekend alone, Ethan confessed his love, giving Sophia an out. She chose him. Their first night together, awkward but heartfelt. Their differences, politics, music, art, only strengthened their connection. Holidays with each other's families solidified their bond. After graduation, Sophia supported Ethan through law school. He proposed after passing the bar, both families celebrating. For better or worse, Sophia thought, now stuck at a red light. I embraced the better but failed at the worse. She'd lost him and only herself to blame. It started innocently, talks with Nathan, then lunches, then drinks after work. Mostly with others, always platonic. Nathan listened as she vented about Ethan and Lily, urging her to communicate with her husband. Then came a lunch, just the two of them. She was unraveling. He held her hand, then hugged her. She saw him as a friend. That night, Ethan came home late, drunk, his suit disheveled. He accused her of cheating with Nathan, then stumbled to the guest room. The next morning, she served him breakfast, angrily demanding answers. He revealed a colleague had photographed her with Nathan, threatening his partnership. Hurt, he'd shut down. Sophia explained Nathan's support, but Ethan was furious she'd shared their private struggles. They parted coldly, meeting later for Lily's appointment. That night, their lovemaking felt obligatory, both turning away afterward. The light turned green. I should have known she wouldn't cheat, Ethan thought, but I didn't listen. Pride widened their rift. After Christmas, they slept apart. Sophia begged him to return, but he refused. When he was ready, she declared the arrangement fine. They hid their strife from Lily, united in love for her. As her cancer showed signs of remission, their marriage became a cold war, each grievance another brick in their wall. One morning, Sophia accused Ethan of sleeping with Claire, citing a blonde hair on his jacket from a hug. Misunderstandings fueled their distrust. Nathan and Claire, drawn into their orbit, developed feelings but stayed neutral, knowing Lily's health tethered Ethan and Sophia together. Another Christmas, another birthday. Lily, disappointed by no snow, was soothed by gifts. Ethan froze when he saw a present from Nathan, accusing Sophia of letting her boyfriend send it. Alone later, Sophia lay beside Lily, watching her sleep, wondering what lay ahead. Could they rebuild, or was their love lost forever?